Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in. Winning cures everything. It's Monday, December 7th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And we have got a lot to discuss today. There's not a lot of big news, but there are rumors flying everywhere. There's just all kinds of stuff going on. So obviously, we are here, even in the middle of an NFL football game. We are going to be talking about what has gone on in the NFL this week. We're going to talk about the rumors in college football and whatnot. We're going to talk about a UNLV quarterback that ate sushi off of a nude model. Like, what is going on with this? Thanks to Yahoo Sports for bringing that up. And we're going to give you some picks for the Monday Night Football game and the Tuesday game. And we're going to talk about the game that's going on right now, et cetera, et cetera. So do us a favor. Go over to winningcureseverything.com. That's where you can find all of our picks, previews, podcasts, videos, social media platforms, et cetera. Everywhere that you need to be subscribed is over there. We've already got a bunch of guys jumping in the chat. Nice to see everyone in here. Obviously, you are all not in the Pittsburgh market or the Washington market, and you can't get the game without Sunday ticket. So you're all just hanging out with us, and we certainly appreciate it. So if you would like to jump into the chat, of course, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, all of those different platforms. If you chat into those, they will populate right there on the screen in the bottom left-hand corner. If you are not able to listen to this live or watch this live, obviously, the podcast will be available as soon as the show is over. You can go grab that anywhere you get your podcasts. We are now on Amazon Music. We are on iHeartRadio, whatever the app is for that. Spotify, Google, Apple, TuneIn, Stitcher, whatever. Whatever your favorite podcast app is, go check it out over there. Subscribe. Leave a nice 5-star written review. We would certainly appreciate that. The biggest rumor of... Oh, hey. You can see right behind Chris. SBRpicks.com/NCAAF. That's our sportsbook review site. That is our college football gambling content. We do a show on Mondays. We do a show on Tuesdays. We do a show on Saturdays. Make sure you are subscribed over on YouTube. Just go and search for SBR Picks. Very easy to do. The website has also got everything that you need to know right there. SBRpicks.com/NCAAF. Let's jump into the biggest rumor of the day. And that would be, it looks like Gus Malzahn might be fired. Now, there's just a lot of smoke coming out of West Georgia, right? Just, nothing's official yet. Obviously, we still got a game left to play this weekend in Starkville between Auburn and Mississippi State. We got stuff going on. Let's see. McKinnon jumped in already. Said, happy Monday, boys. Time to get off the flaming S show that is the Gus Bus. He is fired up about this, obviously, as an Auburn fan. Terry jumps in. He said, what's up? Cruz said, what's up, Gary and Chris? My Giants won't let go. Daniel Kemp said, bring that heat. That's what I'm talking about. The Giants are fired up, man. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. So, Gus Malzahn's buyout as of December 1st, 2020, is $21,450,000. Now, it is not the most expensive buyout in the country, but it is a lot. So it looks like Auburn will go 6-4 this year. That's what it appears, right? We would imagine they're going to beat Mississippi State. We think,
and we all understand that that's a bullshit 6-4.
Yes, 100%.
It's realistically 5-5 or 4-6.
However, Gus said in an interview recently that they're looking for 6-4. Like 6-4 is a good season. If we had the normal out of conference games, we'd be 8-4, and that would be a good season, or so he says. He's not wrong. So Josh Pate from the Late Kick Live show on 247, he has talked about this frequently. He said Auburn is the most difficult P5 job in the country, and I don't know that he's wrong about that.
I've been saying it forever, Gary.
Yeah.
I've been saying it forever.
The people that you go head-to-head in recruiting with are Alabama and Georgia.
Yes.
That is almost impossible. Every single year, regardless of the situation, you are playing Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M. That is all in division. So you got a rough situation anyway. But I don't know that Auburn fans should expect a whole lot better than 8-4 every year. But if you are paying a guy nearly $8 million a year, yeah, you kind of want to be better than you have been recently. Last year felt a little fraudulent. They were a great defensive team, but you're supposed to win with offense if you got Gus Malzahn, right? He's your offensive guy. Now, he's been a pretty good head coach. He is the only SEC head coach with multiple wins over Alabama. Like, Alabama has 3 losses to Gus Malzahn in the last, 6 years? I believe that's right.
Yes.
No.
I mean,
last 7 years. So 2013,
well, yeah, if you're counting
whatever.
this year, yes. Going into this season, that he was 500.
So no, so right now, as of this season, he is 5-3. 3-5 against Nick Saban. That is still significantly better than
everybody else.
Saban only has 3 other losses to SEC teams in that time span. So he's got 6 losses. Half of them are to Auburn. It's pretty good. Like, he hasn't won on the road against his 3 biggest rivals, and that would be LSU, Alabama, and Georgia. He has never won on the road in those spots. It's kind of surprising, but I
don't know that matters, though.
I'm just surprised that they would do this.
If you can be 500 against your biggest rivals, that's a pretty big thing. You're talking about flipping a coin with 3 teams, 2 of which are going to out-recruit you, outspend you, and just have a massive advantage over you because of the universities that they are.
Yeah. No, you're right. Gus's statement, by the way, he stated, if Auburn beats State this weekend, they'll finish 6-4, which is, and this is quoted by him, a pretty solid year if we had a normal non-conference schedule. Auburn fans don't want to hear that they should expect 4 losses. Now, they probably do need to hear it, but
they need to accept it. The coach doesn't need to be the one to say it. I need to be the one to say it. Other media people out there need to be the ones to say, it's just not your birthright to win 10 games every year, and you've got to understand that sometimes this is going to happen.
Yes. No, you're 100% right. So I'm surprised that they would pay this much to get rid of him this year.
That doesn't shock me at all.
I think, and so McKinnon jumps in. He said should have lost to Arkansas and Ole Miss. Brown
that's
Yeti.
what I'm saying. This is a realistic 6-4, 4-6.
Yeah, they're really 4-6. And if you had just gone with the normal schedule that they had, started with Alcorn State, they would have played North Carolina, and I would imagine they probably would have lost that game. But who knows, right? Who knows? It was early in the season. We'll see, right? At Ole Miss, Southern Miss, Kentucky, at Georgia, Texas A&M, at Mississippi State, Arkansas, UMass, LSU, at Alabama. Maybe you get through that with 4 losses, and you end up 8-4. But who knows, right? It's just so off of the Gus Malzahn rumors, because there is a lot of smoke that they are going to do this, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, this is all just message board fodder and whatever else. But the reason that they might be doing this is if you don't go out and get Hugh Freeze right now,
you don't get him.
You may not be able to get him. And I don't know that Hugh Freeze I don't know that Hugh would get another job this season, but he has stated in the past that Tennessee is his dream job. If you are going to have a shot at him and you think that you might lose out to Tennessee, you want to go out and get him right now. I think that's the reason. I think that's the whole reason why this is happening right now.
You can't wait till next year, because we do think if Pruitt doesn't significantly improve Tennessee next year, he's gone.
Yeah. So if that's the case, you got to lock up Hugh Freeze right now. The Brown Yeti jumps in. He said, hashtag Gus is sus. Suspect, baby. He's certainly that. Brown Yeti said, fire Gus. Let's see how bad Auburn is after the fact. So as a Mississippi State fan, let him go now.
If they hire Hugh in a year or two, and maybe immediately, they'll be instantly better.
Ben LaFlamme said, Gus is good for Auburn. It would be greedy for them to fire him. They will regress without him, in my opinion.
I just don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
The right guy.
Yeah.
I think Hugh is the right guy. I'm not a Hugh fan personally. I find him to be very unlikable. Okay. The exact same reason I hate Dabo. Okay. I think these are 2 of the fakest sons of bitches that ever walked the planet. They gonna give you every Jesus there is, but they're just pieces of trash like all the rest of us. But they're gonna try to tell everybody else how to live their life. I don't like that stuff. That stuff is a big turnoff to me. But the difference between him and Dabo is he can coach. He can scheme boys up. He can take 3 stars and make them look like 5 stars.
Yeah. No, you're right.
All day long.
Well, Hugh just turned Malik Willis, who was an Auburn transfer, who Gus didn't even play. He just gave Bo Nix the job right out of the gate. How
much of that do you think is politics because of who Bo Nix's daddy is?
All of it.
Because you know that stuff happens.
Every last bit of it is because Patrick Nix is tied into that Auburn family.
Not just tied in. He is that Auburn family.
Yeah. I mean, he was Pat Dye's boy.
That's right. That's it. And they wanted Bo to be Gus's boy.
Yep.
And that's tough. And that's really tough. And that puts Gus, I'll tell you this, as a coach, that puts you in a bad situation.
It puts Bo Nix in a bad situation. He was not ready to start last year.
I completely agree with both of those. If you don't start him and you don't win a national championship, then you're probably getting fired because you went against the boosters' requests and orders.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the bigger problems at Auburn is, and that's why I brought up Hugh Freeze for a couple of other jobs where he would have fit, was the booster culture. He understands the booster culture.
He's great at it. He does play the politics with those boys better than anybody I've ever seen.
He would fit perfectly at Auburn.
I said this October 1st.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot.
Gus is gone, and Hugh Freeze will be in Auburn next year. You could count on it. That was 2 months ago.
Yeah. No, we did talk about this a lot, and I was a little surprised. Obviously, Auburn fans, like McKinnon said, he and Chad Morris have destroyed that offense this year. Like the offense is no different than it was last year, bud.
It is different than last year. They have regressed a lot, and that's because he handed the keys to his car to Chad Morris, who is not a good OC. You know why he looked so good at Clemson? Because they play some trash-ass defenses in the ACC.
It was 2011, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
It was before everybody caught on to this.
The game has evolved and changed a lot, but also, listen, even a bad LSU team, which of course they beat the hell out of them, it's probably a bad example, but they're Arkansas. They're a hell of a lot better than Wake Forest, okay?
Yeah.
Like there are no Wake Forest in the SEC unless you get Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
There are none. And they're all over. They're all over the ACC. So outside of every now and then back in the day, in his day, Florida State, nobody else was really good.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right about that. And Chad Morris did not do terrible at SMU considering what he had. But
you could roll out of bed and recruit in Dallas, baby.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. McKinnon said, I'll give Chris that. He and I spoke at length back in October. He called Hugh back then. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, we've been talking about this for a long time. The only SEC program that he would fit perfectly would be Auburn because they don't care. They will tell Greg Sankey to kiss their rear end. And they don't care.
And this is a difference between them and Tennessee. While Tennessee might be his dream job, unless they're willing to cut ties with Phil, I don't know that Phil would go with Hugh because Phil likes being in that boys club of the SEC. Okay, and that means he would have to give the thumb to Sankey, and I don't know that Phil's that guy.
Well, also they also have Phil Fulmer hired a football coach that believes in the same philosophies that he does: run the ball, stop the run, all that kind of mess. And you don't win that way.
They got to realize the game has changed.
Yes, but they're gonna have to get a different AD to do that. Like that's what, because remember they brought him in as an emergency hire. Once they got rid of John Curry. So, it's a weird situation. Ben LaFlamme said, where could Gus go? Michigan, they need somebody to upset Ohio State. Here's the problem with Gus. His offense has not been any good for years. Like, he's had blips here and there against overmatched teams, but he is not scheming anything up that nobody's seen before. And the stuff that he has pulled in games, he gets a lot of referee help at home, for whatever reason, and we've seen it multiple times this year. We've seen it over the years. A lot of this stuff is just crazy high school plays that he draws up. And, yes, you do need some of that, especially if you're at Michigan, because you are the under-talented team. I don't know how well that goes over at the Big House. So, Who knows? Brown Yeti said
he won't get a Power 5 head coaching job.
No, I think he was talking about a OC.
As an OC? Oh, yeah. No, there's a lot of people that pick him up as an OC.
Like, I could see him going back to
Michigan.
G5.
We need to see who the head coach is there before we start naming coordinators.
Rumors out of that are that they are giving Harbaugh an extension.
And they might. Well, they have to because this is the end of his career.
His contract ends next season, but from what I understand, that they're going to tack on 3 years after next year. So, basically 4 years left on his deal.
They might do that. He also could become the Lions head coach, which won't affect that contract at all.
Exactly. No, that's entirely true. Entirely true. The Brown Yeti said FSU, Virginia Tech, and maybe Pitt was the only constant D, and he's talking about in the ACC. Yeah.
Man, back then, Pitt sometimes, and even those Va Tech teams, they were winning with special teams and offense back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think that was 2012, 2013.
Yeah, Virginia Tech wasn't really that great. I mean, that's
Virginia Tech defensively, Bud Foster's had lost a step, and they were still playing Beamer ball, but it was crazy special teams and offense back then.
Let's see, 2000. Here we go. It was 2007 when Wake Forest made the Orange Bowl.
Ben is 1,000,000% right with that last comment, but that's okay.
Ref help. That's the Bama fan talking. Hey,
yeah. I hear. I
guarantee you, Kentucky would say the same thing this year. I guarantee you, Arkansas would say the same thing this year.
Listen, just like it's not Gus's place to tell those folks they need to be happy with 8-4. You the last son bitch that needs to be calling somebody about the referees getting some help. Okay,
you're probably right about that.
You just stay in your corner and let us talk about the shenanigans that go on. And
that's it. We got our boys. Yeah, we got our boys club over here, where we all get to sit around and talk about how much we get cheated.
About the refs.
McKinnon said instead of getting better at that scheme and changing little things to keep folks off balance, he regressed into a very traditional offense. Yes.
Okay, now some of this, like I said, I will tell you, I'm trying to tell you, put yourself in Gus's position, okay? You've been handcuffed by the boosters with a quarterback that is less than stellar.
That's a very nice way of putting that.
What do you think you're supposed to do? Like, at some point in time, Gus realizes there's no scheming to save this. So he's just going out there and just trying to mitigate damage.
Yeah.
Every week. And I kind of feel bad for him. Now, I don't feel bad for him. He's about to get paid $21 million to not work. But at the same time, I'm also not going to judge him for the last 2 years of his scheming all the time, because he was handcuffed by boosters with we're seeing it now when we look at the kid from Liberty and look at the kid from Auburn and say, they made him pick the wrong guy strictly because of his last name. And that's a tough pill to swallow as a coach. And at some point in time, you're just trying to go out there and save face the best you can. I think that's why he brought in Chad Morris, and I think that's why he handed the play calling to him. You see if you could do something with this bastard, because I can't.
Like, I can't do nothing. That's why we paid Chad Morris. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Brown Yeti
tried last year. It didn't work.
Brown Yeti. McKinnon said, nope, diehard Auburn fan. We can't say shit about refs or calls this year. Brown Yeti said, let's remember the pass interference by someone who wasn't covered in Mississippi State-Alabama game a couple of years ago. I have no idea what he's talking about, but
I'm sure it happened, Yeti.
Yeah, I'm sure it happened. Yeah,
I believe you now.
I would not doubt that. I would not doubt that. So either way, crazy stuff going on in. We're getting into silly season, Gary. Oh yes,
this is when, even if the games suck, we're gonna have stuff to talk about, and a lot of this stuff we're gonna talk about as weeks go on aren't ever gonna happen or come true.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
We're just trying to read the tea leaves, and we're trying to kind of just see, where things fall.
Shane Beamer news, by the way, it looks like his contract is going to be 5 years, $2.75 million. That would make him the lowest paid coach in the SEC.
Oh yeah, but I think that's right though.
Yeah, especially this year.
He's still pretty young. He's taken over in a weird ass COVID year where everybody's losing a lot of money. And he's got to earn his stripes.
And you are for sure going to have to hire some coordinators.
And this is what I told you about Coach O. When we made the call to get Coach O, my thought was I need to know what he's making, and it don't need to be a lot, because we need 2 highly, highly compensated coordinators.
Yes.
And that's what they did.
Yep. You are not wrong about that. Cruz said Edo in an Edo voice, go Tigers, saying that to Gus. Like, I don't know that he's bringing in Gus. I think he likes Steve Ensminger. I think he likes what he's got there. But
no. Steve we're going to have to see Steve fall apart with a quarterback that they feel like they trust before they take the keys from Steve.
Honestly, I don't know that Steve wants to be the offensive coordinator. He's said it multiple times.
He doesn't care. He wants to do whatever's best for LSU.
Yep.
There's nobody that cares more about that school on that staff in that locker room than Steve. Nobody. No kid,
Agreed.
no player, no coach. Nobody cares more about it than him.
Taylor jumped in. He said, why is Chris an LSU fan if his alma mater is Ole Miss? You want to explain that?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So in 10th grade, I got super, super, super into football, which I always loved football, but I'd never been to a game that wasn't at the Liberty Bowl here in Memphis. Now, it was a lot of Liberty Bowls, and it was a lot of watching Memphis play. And then in 10th grade, one of my best friends, his family is big LSU people, and they took me down to Baton Rouge for a game, and LSU just got their ass kicked, okay? It was not pretty. It was not good, and that crowd was nuts. And I walked out of that stadium saying, I'll never root against these people the rest of my life. So fast forward 2.5 years later, I graduate, and LSU's tuition was $18,000 a year. And Ole Miss's was $6,000. And my mama raised a fool, but he went to Mississippi State. And my ass went to Ole Miss because I was really good at math.
There you go.
And I was poor. I mean, it came from a poor family.
Well, it's in-state. It was right down the street from where you live. Like, there's a lot of in-state school, man. In-state school.
Your fandom is one thing. At some point in time, you need to pick where you go to college. Unless you got money. Unless y'all got daddy money. I don't have daddy money, okay? Yeah. Unless you got daddy. And then, there was a big portion of that where I was a part-time student, and I was going back and forth from Olive Branch to Oxford just to pay, just to help our family not lose the house.
Yeah, no, you're right. Cruz jumps in. Bo Nix is trash. There I said it. McKinnon said Bo Nix is an Auburn-style quarterback through and through. He's a better runner than thrower, and that's brought most of the success Auburn has had at the quarterback position. Stidham was the only quarterback during Gus's tenure that was not a scrambling quarterback that he was successful with. Go back to the stuff we did with Cam and Marshall. Not as athletic, but still pretty damn good runner, and about the same throwing the ball with receivers. Those dudes would have shot their mothers for. So Auburn does have receivers. Here's the issue with Bo Nix. He ain't accurate. He ain't more accurate than Nick Marshall, and he ain't more accurate than Cam. On passes that go past the line of scrimmage, that's all. Past the line of scrimmage. He is third worst in the Power 5. Like, it is bad. Like, it's not throwing a bubble screen or throwing a screen pass. He has trouble completing 50%. Like, it's just tough, man. And if he gets rattled at all, man, he cannot complete a pass. Like, Bo Nix is trouble, man. He's just not very good. Let's see. Ben said, LMAO, did you wear your Tiger jersey to class?
So I don't wear jerseys. I'm a fat guy, and that's not really fun material. I didn't really wear a lot of team paraphernalia back then. I pretty much just wore polos all the time.
That makes sense. And now you've got a bunch of team gear.
Well, now I have a bunch but I own my own business, and I wear nothing but T-shirts and hoodies and jeans to work every day.
Yeah.
Like back then, I had a job, and so when I left school every day, I had to go to work. And I basically wore polos and a khaki or polos and dress slacks to work. So that's just what I wore to school, and I just went straight to work.
There you go.
I would say I went to many an Ole Miss LSU game in Oxford, and I wore my LSU gear, and I sat with LSU people. I'm not a dick, man. I'm a pretty good fan. I went in the Ole Miss section with some Ole Miss people to a couple of games, and I wore my LSU gear at the game. But I'm a pretty good fan. If the home team is getting drummed, I'm a pretty good visitor. I cheer for them when they did something good, and I'm not overly crazy. When the big team is beating the hell out of the other team, and I'm a pretty respectful fan at the games. On here, I'll throw all the shade I want. It's the magic of the internet. You get those muscles when people can't actually hit you.
Now you got that right.
But when I'm at games, I'm a pretty tame guy, I guess.
Yeah. No. When you and I watch games together, we're fairly we just try and analyze the game for what it is. Yeah. McKinnon said that Bo Nix was also SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Could this be a sophomore slump? Are we really seeing what he is? If he ain't it, time to move on. Bo Nix was Freshman of the Year because Auburn went 9-3 because of that defense last year. Go look at his numbers. He was still trash last year. Like this is no different than what last season was. Only he doesn't have that defense to help save him. It's the same situation it was last season. I'm telling you. Go back and look at
Somebody asked if Bo Nix will get drafted. No, sir.
No, there is no prayer for that. He can't read a defense. And on top of that, he can't throw the football. So anyway. Brian Yeti said, I'm looking at it rolling in on Vandy. I hear they need some players for the Georgia game. Look, Vandy is supposed to play Tennessee this week. I don't know how they're going to be able to field a team. Those dudes, they have quit. Like, yeah. I just don't think that game's happening. I don't think the Georgia game's happening. So, Ben said Ken Seals is better than Bo Nix. He really might be. Ken Seals is the Vandy quarterback, by the way. And so, yeah, I'm telling you, Bo Nix ain't real good. Gus Malzahn, has done the best that he could with him.
I think Gus is still a good coach. I would hire Gus as an OC if I had an OC job open somewhere. I don't think that he's a bad hire. I mean, if he gets the job at South Carolina, I think that'd be a good hire at South Carolina. I mean,
yeah, I think that wouldn't be terrible.
He might want out of the SEC. He might want to get as far away from this damn conference as can be. And I'll tell you this: if he goes to the Big 12, his offenses might look great.
It's possible.
Because a lot of them don't look good at all.
Yeah, it's possible for sure. Let's talk about Monday Night Football picks right quick. So obviously Washington and the Steelers on right now. What's our score there right now?
It was nothing when I came up here.
7-0
Steelers.
Yep. All right, so that line got down to 6, and I was kind of surprised by that. I would imagine the Steelers probably able to handle business here. But obviously we ain't betting on this now, so we ain't worried about it. I got Washington at plus 8.5. I'd imagine.
So I got them at 9.5.
Yeah. I mean, it opened at 10 offshore.
Yeah.
Or no. It opened at 10 in Vegas. It opened at 12.5 or something like that. I mean, it was something crazy.
No, it only opened at 8.5. It opened at 8.5. It got up to 10.5 or 11 at a couple places, and then it over the week. It's been going down.
Got bet back down. So, so with that said, let's talk about the other Monday night game tonight, and that is the Bills and the 49ers. That line has completely shifted. Opened up Bills minus 2.5. It's now San Francisco minus 1.5. I'm a little shocked at this. There's been a ton of 49ers love. They got a bunch of dudes back, but not on defense. So
yeah, but
I mean, do we take Nick Mullen over Josh Allen?
No, but it's not a quarterback versus quarterback, and who's ever better is going to win the game. I mean, I'll take how much I like Sean McDermott. I'll take Kyle Shanahan over everybody's scheme in football right now.
Man, I think I'm all on the Bills. I think there's way too much love for the 49ers right now.
Well, this line hadn't moved because of betting odds, because it's 52% on the Bills, 48% on the 49ers.
It is now. It wasn't that as of yesterday. When I looked at it yesterday, it was 70-something% for the 49ers. So there's been a lot of buyback on the Bills.
That's why you move the line, is to try to get to 50-50.
Try and get it to 50-50.
That's what they've done.
And
but
now
I like the 49ers beforehand. Kyle Shanahan is the best at scheming. He's got a juke back. How the hell do you say his name?
Scat back? Who are you talking about?
Oh, anyway, the wide receiver that I can't pronounce his name. And then he's got a Debo back. And
you talking about Brandon Ayuk?
Ayuk, not a juke. Ayuk back.
I thought you were talking about a juke back, I don't know. Like juke, like scat,
a move. No. Ayuk. He's got Ayuk back, and I think Kittle's going to be back. I'm telling you, they're just Molster's back. It's just, this is what Kyle Shanahan needs to run an offense, and the Bills' defense has not been good.
Yeah, I can understand that. McKinnon said he's hopping off, baby sleeping, so dad's got to sleep. He said, have a wonderful night, and as always, we're damn eagle. Cheers to that. Cruz said, I think it'll be close, but I've got the Bills. Bertie said, I'm with you on the Bills. Gary, you and me, bud. Casey said 49ers will run all over the Bills. 49ers money line. And then Bills run defense is trash. Bertie's explaining the pronunciation. Ayuk.
Ayuk. Thank you. I appreciate IUK.
There you go. Tuesday, we got Cowboys. 49ers Bills. Total is 47.5.
I'd go over that.
I'd go over that too. I expect some big plays.
Yeah, I think both these teams are getting the 20s.
And so the Bills' defense is extremely susceptible to
They used to be really good, and now they're not. So that's weird. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Tuesday night football this week, Cowboys and the Ravens in Baltimore. Line is sitting at 8.5. It opened 10. It's come down a little bit. Total of 45. I mean, I want to go Ravens here. Like they hadn't been great this season, but I think that's the play, right?
I think it's time for them to kick somebody's ass.
That's
they
kind of what
haven't
I'm
done
feeling.
that in a long time, and they're on a losing streak. They're on a bit of a losing streak, and it is time for them to show people. At one thought they were one of the top 3 teams in the country, and it's time for them to get back to that.
Yeah, like it just handle business, go out. Casey said Ravens get right. Cruz said bleep the Cowboys. I'm a Giants fan, hate them with a passion. Birdie said for me this Bills D is finally getting healthy. They've really played under their potential, finally getting better and playing up to expectation. I mean, we'll see.
I don't know. That defensive front, that secondary is struggling because they get no pass rush at all.
I mean, it's Titans.
Casey was right. They're struggling to stop the run.
Yeah, it's the Titans all over again. Like
yes, it's the Titans all over again. That's a astute comparison.
So we're both rolling Ravens. I've got the Bills. You've got the 49ers. Let's talk for a second about UNLV right quick. We don't talk very much about that Mountain West school, but story out of Yahoo Sports. UNLV quarterback apologizes for eating sushi off nude model on reality TV show. Max Gilliam issued an apology Monday for eating sushi off of a nude model while appearing on the reality TV show called Below Deck. He claims that the sushi idea came from the show's producers. This is what he said. I would like to apologize for my poor judgment while on the TV show Below Deck and acknowledge that I have made a mistake that I will learn from. While it was not my idea nor any of my friends' ideas to eat sushi off of a model, I should have exercised better judgment and declined the idea immediately when it was brought up by the producers. He posted that on Twitter. He first appeared on the show in an episode that aired last month. He was identified as, quote, a star quarterback at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. The show focuses on a group of crew members who work and live on a yacht and features the passengers aboard the boat. Gilliam was one of those passengers. He and a few friends were out there, and their girlfriends. They requested the sushi to be laid out on a nude model, is what he stated. He said, this is not a reflection of my character or the way I was raised, nor a reflection of the culture of UNLV football. I would like to humbly move past this and focus my time and energy on our game against the University of Hawaii this weekend. So apparently Marcus Arroyo, the UNLV head coach, said Monday that the university was unaware of the details of it until it was brought to their attention Monday, and he said that it was being reviewed internally. He said, we talk intently about what we're building here. We mean thoroughly and completely. Each of our players, especially our senior leadership, must recognize that when we go out in public, we are representing this team, this university, and the alumni and fan base. How we conduct ourselves in public is just as important as how we do on the field. I was made aware of Max's recent statement, and it is apparent that he also agrees. There is no chance that you would ever catch me as a 19, 20-year-old quarterback of a college football team apologizing for eating sushi off of a nude model. There is no way that would, and Ben jumps in, he said that's why UNLV hasn't won one game. I hope he's talking about the apology, because why would you apologize for this? Like, I didn't even know this was happening until he apologized for it. What are you doing here?
Yeah, every administrator and every adult that is kowtowing this kid to an apology should all be ashamed of themselves. They can all kiss my ass, all right? The only person I'm apologizing for is that nude model while I'm eating off her whatever, because it's going to get weird and it's going to get uncomfortable, and she is the only one that gets an apology from me.
Brown Yeti said, what, sorry for living a good life? He's not at BYU or TU. Like, yeah, UNLV is not a religious institution.
At TCU, they don't frown on this stuff just because that's different.
Yeah.
BYU, they kick you out of school for it, but that's different.
Oh, yeah.
That's why listen, you go to college in Las Vegas.
Exactly. Like, what are you doing?
What in the hell are we talking about here?
That's if you wanted to, like, if he was apologizing for being filmed on a yacht during a pandemic, then okay, we can have that discussion if we want to. But
no, we can't. No, we can't.
I'm with you. I agree on your side.
We won't have that discussion. And we will shame anybody who does have that discussion, just like I will shame them for having this discussion.
Cruz said, it's okay, UNLV, get ready for basketball season. They're in the middle of basketball season. They ain't real good. Casey, of course, laughed, and Birdie said, why? Good for him. Jesus, people need to get a life. If you ever get a chance to eat anything off a nude model, you do it every time.
Every time.
I think I agree. I mean,
every time.
When you get a chance to live life and enjoy yourself, you need to do it. You don't know how many of these days you got. Go out and do your thing, man. Yes. We're all day to day. And this was
enjoy this day.
This was not in the middle of football season. There was nothing about this that shamed the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Even if it is in the middle of football season, you get a personal life.
Yes, agreed.
What do you think they're doing at the fraternities down there?
Oh, my word.
I mean, really, what do you think is going on these places?
We all know what's going on at these
Probably
places.
a lot worse than eating sushi off of a nude model.
No, you got that right. Cruz said, take the over on the nude model rebels. Woo. Yeah, Brown Yeti said it was probably free as well. That's a great experience. Yeah, I bet it was free. So, and he's on a yacht. I mean, we talking NCAA rules here? I doubt that we're going to get into that. But, I mean, my gosh.
There was a day and a time where college football stars getting on yachts was getting cocaine and all kinds of hardcore narcotics.
I know you're talking about Miami.
Hanging with nude models, okay? Isn't this just a lot better? Haven't we just evolved into a better place?
I think so. I mean, who knows? Terry jumps in. He said, Ajax can't take that off. I know you're talking about the Nevin Shapiro stuff down at Miami, the former Miami football scandal. Yeah, I mean, nothing ever came of that. You know? I mean, what are we talking about? This is crazy. Ben said, I doubt that this doesn't reflect the University of Nevada, Las Vegas football program. He said it's Vegas. Like 100%. This story cracked me up because I don't know why the kid would apologize at all. They brought more media to this by apologizing for it.
The kid apologized because people told him he had to. And I think that's bullshit. And I'd have told all those people they could eat sushi off my ass. That's what I'd have told them.
I think I agree with you. All right, let's do our Week 13 recap of the week that was, at least on Sunday. We'll start off early. Saints beat the Falcons 21-16, so the Saints get the cover. Matt Ryan threw 19 out of 39, 273 yards, but that's not who everybody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about Taysom Hill. He was 27 out of 37, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. He again proves that Sean Payton was right and
Sean
that he
Payton
picked the right guy.
8-0 without Drew Brees.
It's pretty nuts, right? Like this is getting to a point where
next year when Drew Brees retires and he gets a full offseason with whoever the hell is his quarterback, next year is going to look kind of amazing for the Saints, I believe.
I think so. Eventually, teams will get ready for that. I think right now they're still in.
If he's got a whole offseason, we don't know that he's going to run what he's running right now. I'm talking about give him a whole offseason with whoever. It's Taysom, whoever. Bring in a quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do.
Give
him a whole offseason with somebody not named Drew Brees that he can build an offense around.
I mean, he's still got Taysom. He's still got Taysom for like $15 million next year. So, you know.
Yes, but we don't know that he won't draft a quarterback.
Hey, did you read Damien's comment?
Oh, God.
I get that he was living his life, but why do it during a pandemic? We can always count on Damien to come in here and kill it.
Just pour just cold water all over the party.
Oh, man.
Every party has a pooper, and Damien is ours.
Taylor jumps in. He said, sounds delicious. Brown Yeti said the Saints will be scary good. Casey jumps in. Yeah, he was all over the Bears. He said, so much for my Bears undefeated prediction. Killed my 8-pack. I do think they're going to win out now, though, with Nick Foles. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Lions and the Bears. Lions win 34-30. Lions move to 5-7. We kind of called this last week.
Yes, sir.
And it, first game after Matt Patricia gets fired. And, man, you want to talk about the social media accounts of the Lions players and the former Lions players. As soon as Patricia got fired, they unloaded the Glock on him, man. That was some assassination of character, if you ask me, because they went after this fool. I haven't seen anything like that in a while.
No, I hadn't either. And so the GM should have been fired. If you know there's that much dislike and vitriol for a coach that's not winning games, you gotta cut this thing off at the head a long time ago.
Yes.
A long time ago.
It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. That Lions game, the Lions Bears, like it was what, 30-20 with 2 minutes left or whatever. I mean, it was something crazy, right? And I wouldn't write watching this game. Let's say they scored. All right, so the Lions scored with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left, and then they scored again with 1 minute and 37 seconds left. I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you. Trubisky, the numbers, again, don't look terrible. That's typically what he does, right? And this was not garbage time.
Until that fumble in the fourth quarter when you need just a couple of first downs to end the game.
Yep. So passing 26 out of 34, 267 yards, 1 touchdown.
This is why numbers lie all the time. Anybody who just feeds you a bunch of numbers, just look at them and tell them they're full of shit and just move on.
Matt Stafford, however, 27 out of 42, 402 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Old man Peterson, Adrian Peterson, 16 carries, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns, man. He just keeps on rolling. Like, it don't matter how old this man gets or how many knee surgeries or whatever. He just keeps rolling. He's ridiculous.
The definition of a freak. We've never seen anything like this. I mean, if somebody tried to convince me aliens are real, they just need to look at Peterson and say he's not made of the same stuff we're made of.
No, you're 100% right about that. Hey, Damien jumped back in. He said, "I'm just messing with y'all."
We know. We got you.
Hey, Damien,
we love you. Glad you're here.
If you didn't do this, I don't know what we would do. We need that. We need a little what's the word? Opposition coming in here. You have become a very vital part of this show, Damien. I don't know if you know that. Casey, Casey said 30-20 with 2 minutes left. Lions are making the playoffs. Lock it in, said Ben. Man, come on, Ben. Like it's one thing to get excited.
They'd have to win out.
Let's see. Cruz said, Chris and Gary, how about my G-men? So we'll get there. Ben said, I don't understand why Mitch was drafted so high. He came from an awful North Carolina team. What? Because of the measurables. That's all it was. And it wasn't an awful North Carolina team. I mean, they won like 10 games that year. They're pretty good. Casey said, bring back Nick Foles and get this wild card. And then Casey said, aliens are real. Yeah, Adrian Peterson is certainly an alien. Browns-Titans, 41-35. Browns win. That first half was absolute perfection by the Cleveland Browns. And this highlighted again that the Titans have a pass rush. They could not, and they put their guys on an island out there. And Baker Mayfield, man, he put the ball in some spots specifically for his wide receivers. This was the most perfect first half on offense that an NFL team could possibly have. It was unbelievable.
The entire game, they pressured Baker. Pressured, not sacked. Pressured him one time.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But then you get to the second half, Titans outscore them 28-3. You would like to see them, be able to put the game away. Put your foot on their throat a little bit. But
can't do this, and that's asking too damn much. This team has won 9 games. Okay,
yes, 9-3.
Call it what it is.
9-3, and remaining schedule here, they have got the Ravens, the Giants, the Jets, and the Steelers.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it seems. That Jets game should be pretty easy, but the other 3, they're gonna be in a dogfight.
Yes, but all of them.
You can only hope that the Steelers have 1 loss, but have locked up the number 1 seed because that's Week 17.
Yep, you've got that right. And then of course they could certainly beat the Ravens on Monday Night Football. They could certainly beat the Giants. They got a chance here at 11 wins. Like I think 11 wins would be absolutely insane. Let's see. Birdie said Steelers up 14-0. Yeah, I just saw that. Let's see. Titans look tired, said Birdie. No, the Titans have not been able to get pass rush on anybody all season. They might look tired.
When that game changed in the first half, A.J. Brown went down. He didn't come out of the game much, and they threw what would have been a wide open touchdown, easy to him, and he was short of that ball by about 4 yards and limping a little bit, and he would have caught it if he was healthy. They didn't overthrow him. He that's where the ball was supposed to go, and he couldn't get there in time. If a healthy A.J. Brown is there, I think that game is different. I think that guy's a monster.
Yes, no, A.J.
And
Brown
we could not guard him. We did hurt him. We couldn't guard him.
There were also,
and once he went down,
there were the turnovers by the Titans as well. That definitely played into it. Ben wants to know what your take on Baker Mayfield is as of today. Is he their quarterback or is it fluky?
But fluky. He played a perfect half where he didn't get any pressure at all. Okay, we were able to run the ball. They were able to throw the ball. I think Stefanski can out-scheme everybody right now. I'm talking guys are getting wide open in this offensive scheming every week, no matter who they play. That's coaching. That's scheming. Because these same players last year couldn't get open at all, and we're getting covered like a blanket. At the beginning of this year, when they're all learning the new scheme, they struggled getting open, and now they're getting wide open.
So the games that they have lost this year are against teams that they could not run the football on.
I've said this all year.
Yeah.
If you can run the football, they will beat you. They will have a really good shot at dominating you, and it opens everything else up, which is why I picked them in this game, because I thought they can run the football against this Titans team, because everybody's ran the football against them.
Yeah. No, you were dead on with this. You were dead on with it.
Listen, if all of a sudden he looks like this against the Ravens and against the Giants, then okay, he's proven to me he really is the guy. I'm just telling you, any quarterback, if you've made it to the NFL, if you can't do that with no pressure, you can't play in this league.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Baker did play a perfect game in that first half.
Perfect first half.
So, but yeah, the fumble in late in that game, that touchdown is the only thing that kept this game even remotely close. But it ended up being fun to watch at the end, but you knew what the outcome was, 100 times out of 100. Right. Bengals lose to the Dolphins. They lose another quarterback. 19-7 Dolphins win. I had the Bengals plus 11.5. I was so irritated by this.
Bad football. Everybody, that's the place that they need to clean house. I need every coach gone. I need every personnel person gone. I need Joseph Burrow. I need Boyd. I need Higgins. I need the running backs, and that's it. I need a lot of them gone.
Somebody said in our chat, and I don't know where it went.
It was me.
No. Somebody in the chat said that the Bengals need to fire Zach Taylor and something else.
The GM and coaches.
Yeah. I cannot believe I can't find it. I don't know what happened to the comment.
It was literally the last hour ago.
Yeah, no.
It's literally just under that picture I sent.
No. I'm talking about in our chat up here, on the show today. Yeah, somebody said it, and now I can't find it.
Well, yeah.
Either way, yes.
Our chat, you and me and the boys.
No. In the chat on the screen up here,
Okay.
Somebody said it, and yes, it's 100% right. This Bengals team is awful, and
Zach Taylor got hired because he used to fondle Sean McVay. Okay, and now Sean McVay ain't there for him to fondle, so he doesn't need a job. He's not qualified for this. He wasn't qualified when he got hired, and whoever the GM is needs to bounce because he's built a shit ass team.
Yes. Brown Yeti said the Bengals need to pick an O-line play with their first pick.
What the Bengals need is they need to get one of those top 2 spots and sell it for a king's ransom, because they don't need one player. They need a lot of players. And I believe if they get one of those top 2 spots, they will get a king's ransom.
Somebody will want Justin Fields or whoever quarterback.
Lawrence. And if the Jets would have won yesterday, I was dancing in the streets of Jaguars. I needed them to pull that out, because the Jags are who has 2. If they get 1 win, that bumps the Bengals up because of that damn tie, and they'll be firmly in second place. The Bengals aren't winning another game. They don't have the ability to, even if they were trying. They're the worst roster in football as of right now.
So talking about worst roster, et cetera, Ben said the Finns could be so good if Chan Gailey didn't constipate the offense. Well, I mean, it is what it is. That defense is pretty damn good, though. You talked about bad rosters. The Jags go on the road, and they lose in overtime to the Vikings, 27-24. Dalvin Cook, 32 carries, 120 yards. Kirk Cousins, he was 28 out of 43, 305 yards, 3 touchdowns. How the Jags stayed in this game, every time I looked at this, I was shocked. Mike Glennon has not played awful.
Nope.
And James Robinson, like, he can run the rock. Like
I'm going to tell you, it's your boy that's carrying this team.
Which boy?
It's Laviska Shenault.
Oh, yeah, Shenault. I mean, yes. He had 2
Listen,
rushes, 30 yards.
That dude is playing out of his damn mind.
Three receptions, 38 yards. He had a touchdown there.
Like, when they get into the red zone, he's the guy they trust to go get the football.
Yeah, no, he's a freak.
Like, he don't have a lot of targets. He don't get a lot of catches. But when they get goal line or they get in the red zone, he's the guy they give the ball to.
Yes.
Because the last couple of weeks, he's gotten a touchdown from Glennon.
They trust him. They trust Shenault, which is crazy for a rookie wide receiver to be your go-to. But it is what it is. Casey jumps in. Josh Allen is a monster. Yes, he is. And we said that when he was coming out, a couple years ago. Yeah. Like, he's ridiculous. Casey said, "We'd love to see Joe Burrow get Bieniemy as a coach."
Wouldn't hate that. I just want him to get a real offensive-minded coach that knows how to put together a roster and coach a whole football team.
In a scheme that would allow him to get the ball out a little quicker so that that offensive line.
So he's not getting crushed.
Yeah. Because there are not a ton of great offensive lines in the NFL. Like,
no, but every year there's a bunch of them that come out in free agency. The Browns have maybe the best offensive line in football this year right now after having the dead worst last year. Why? Because they went out and got 4 offensive line. They drafted 1. They went and got the 2 best free agents, and the 3 best free agents, sorry, and they already had Joel Platoni. So, like, bingo bango, you go from dead last to number 1 in one offseason, but you got to go 3 deep in the free agency pool. There's going to be plenty of offensive linemen hit free agency this year. There always are. You got to go spend that money and get those big boys.
Yes, 100%.
Whatever it costs.
Dolphins are playing the Chiefs this week. I guess could be interesting. I don't know.
Birdie better put his big boy pants on. Tyrone Matthews has an interception in every game the last 4 or 5 games.
Birdie said, every person I have seen this week are on the Dolphins. People are nuts. Dolphins' strength of schedule has been easier than anyone's. This is a huge step in the class for the Dolphins. Yeah. I agree. I mean, look, the Chiefs are the best team at football. I don't even think it's close.
If the Chiefs play their best football, nobody beats them. Nobody in the world beats them.
Yeah. Last night, they looked asleep at the wheel and still got the W.
They look bored. They didn't look like they want to be there.
Birdie said, people are sleeping on the Jags. Go back and look at their last 4 games. Jags D is playing fast. Yes, no, 100%.
Yeah, I need them to win one of these games, damn it. I'm pulling for them.
Yep, you are correct about that.
So while we're talking about that game, can we talk about the rookie of the year this year?
Which rookie of the year?
The clear-cut, hands down, no second place. Now that Joe got hurt, rookie of the year? Justin Jefferson?
Oh, Jefferson. Yes. You're going back to the Vikings.
Justin Jefferson is like number 3 or 4 out of every receiver in the league.
Yes.
Right now.
No. We talked about him.
Not out of the rookies. It's basically DK, Nuke Hopkins in some form or fashion of 1 and 2, and JJ.
Yeah. No, Jefferson, 9 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. He's been unreal all season. Like,
all year. It took him a couple of weeks to figure out this scheme.
Yeah, to get acclimated to Kirk Cousins as a quarterback, et cetera.
That's right.
The thing that surprised me,
he went from laser accuracy to now I got a catch radius of about 5-6 feet when Cousins throws the football. Yep. But he figured it out.
Birdie said, by the way, no way the Jags won one of those games, Chris. I mean,
I just want them to win one. Just one. Or I need the Jets to win 2. Can the Jets get 2 wins?
Let's see. Cousins is actually really accurate. He helps from Casey. Blue Hawk jumps in. He said, hey, Chris, I should have bet your Browns. Yeah, I think everybody knows that now.
I told you.
Let's see. And Blue Hawk said, I lost on the Raiders the last 2 weeks. Casey said that Tyreek catch was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Yes, that certainly was. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We'll get to that game. Let's see. Herbert is still going to win. Quarterback bias from Ben. Not if he plays like they did yesterday. Not if he does that.
1 billion Belichick put his ass in a locker.
100%.
Which is what I told you.
Yep.
We talked about that. And bad coaches, Bill just destroys.
You got that right. Raiders and Jets, 31-28, winning on a walk-off Henry Ruggs 46-yard touchdown pass at the end of the game, and Greg Williams wakes up this morning without a job.
Oh, Triple G, gone.
So in the history, I heard this on another podcast that I was listening to earlier.
Who the hell
today.
spells their name with 3 G's? It's Greg.
You got me. I don't know. Old man Greg or old Greg. So you remember that? Anyway, we'll get to that. In the history of this stat being kept up, no other coach has ever called 6-man pass rush on a Hail Mary situation. Ever. It's never happened. Since they've kept up with the stats in the NFL, like these advanced stats and whatnot, you can't tell me that they did not call down and say, we all know Greg Williams is crazy. We know that he's aggressive as hell. You cannot tell
He's
me.
an asshole.
Oh, agreed. But you can't tell me that he was not informed, hey, we need to figure out a way to lose this football game.
I don't think he was. I think he really, truly did what he – listen, I always tell you this. I like conspiracies. I don't deny conspiracies. I have fun with them. I'm telling you, 99% of the time, if stupidity could trump conspiracy, it's all about stupidity. You don't think they're dumb enough to do this shit on their own?
I mean, they certainly are.
Greg Williams is going to be the only defensive coordinator in the history of the world to reside over 2 16-0 football teams.
0-16, yeah.
0-6, whatever. Yeah, the shit-ass part of it, the bad part of it, the terrible side of it.
Let's see, PFF number 2 rated wide receiver.
Can't get another job. Cannot be hired.
Yeah.
Not hireable at all.
There's no way he should get another job. Like,
never,
and it's not just from this call. This call just puts a nice cherry on the top.
His career says you're not employable to do anything. You've made enough money. Go find yourself a boat and just learn to fish. Okay?
Yeah.
Just don't go be around people because you're a dick.
Blue Hawk said that was stupid to call a blitz on the last play. Casey said Trevor was pissed yesterday. Yeah, I'd probably so. Cruz said 2017 Browns or 2020 Jets. Who's worse?
I think this 2020 Jets team's worse than that.
I think this Jets team is worse.
I do believe that. That could be. It's hard because it's right in front of us, but Yeah.
No, you're right about that. Ben said R.I.P. Sam Darnold. Yeah, Sam's gonna be looking for a job. Birdie, the thing I love the most is he had a spy on Carr 3rd and 45, and he says Carr on an all-out blitz. I don't get the spy. They were spying him. So I saw Emmanuel Acho talking about this, and they had a spy like Derek Carr was going to run for a touchdown, like he was Michael Vick or something. What was the purpose in that situation? Like, if you wanted to come out and talk about how, we were off a play on our play sheet, kind of like Virginia against Abilene Christian or whatever a couple weeks ago, then I would rather you say that and say the guy, we miscommunicated. Like, that would be easier to explain than actually calling what they called. Because there was a blitz and there was a guy spying the quarterback. What are you doing?
It was complete cover zero.
It made no sense. No sense at all. I could not believe it when I saw it. Well, and they did it 2 plays in a row. Don't forget the play right before that where they literally ran the exact same play the Raiders did because Carr overthrows Aguilar by a lot, who was wide open. And then they ran the exact same play, and they read the exact same defense, ran the exact same play, and this time he don't overthrow Aguilar. So you brought up that you believe it is stupidity as opposed to that the whole thing being rigged.
Oh, I think they are 100% capable of doing this on their own.
Terry says, "Oh, you're one of those guys that believes the moon is real, huh, Chris?"
I do believe the moon is real. I do.
Bertie said Williams did the same thing while with the Saints against the 49ers. Let's see. Casey wanted to bring up Bounty Gate, killed Favre in that game. Justin Simpson, technically the Jets are 12-0 this year. Yeah, if you want to get real about it, they knew what they were doing. Casey said it made perfect sense, hashtag Trevor. And then Cruz bringing up his Giants tanking for Trevor. And them Giants ain't tanking for nothing. 2008 0-16 Lions better than the 2020 0-16 Jets.
I think the 2008 Lions are better than the Browns also.
Yeah, I think so. That Lions team was not
that was
awful,
the best of the 3 winless teams.
Yeah, I would roll with that. Let's try and roll through the rest of this pretty quick. Colts beat the Titans. We all kind of expected that. 26-20.
Texans.
Texans. Sorry. The only score in the second half of this game was a safety in the fourth quarter.
Bad game. Bad football.
Yes, it really was. Rams beat the Cardinals, and the shine has come off Kyler Murray, something fierce. Jared Goff had 351 yards and a touchdown. Cam Akers looked pretty good, 21 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray, throwing pick sixes and all that kind of. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There was a lot of scoring in the fourth quarter in this ball game. It was pretty nuts. Casey asked, "How does the Seahawks lose to Colt McCoy? The NFL is just getting ridiculous with it." That's the next game. Giants win 17-12 at Seattle. Russell Wilson, there is an issue going on with Russell Wilson. I don't know what is going on. He has not looked good in a little while. They can't put up points on anybody. And that's nothing to take away from the Giants and what they have been able to do. But it wasn't Colt McCoy that won this ball game. It was Wayne Gallman. 16 carries, 135 yards. We already knew that the Seahawks defense was bad. But my goodness, I don't know what to make exactly of this game other than Joe Judge has got them boys playing up. And if not for a 1-point loss to the Eagles and a 2-point loss to the Bucs, they would be on a 7-game winning streak right now. They're 5-7, and I think they're going to win this division.
Well, yeah, I think they're clearly winning that division.
So Russell Wilson, 27 out of 43, 263 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. In his last however many games, he has thrown a pick. Let's see. Let's see. No, all right, so he didn't throw one against the Eagles. He didn't throw one against the Cardinals. Those were both wins. However, he threw 2 against the Rams. He threw 2 against Buffalo, and he threw 1 against the Giants. When he doesn't throw a pick, they win. Now, it's not anything impressive, really, but his numbers have not been good. He has not looked good in as far as decision-making and whatnot. Do you have any idea what's going on with Russell Wilson?
No, my only thought on this is the NFC is just the Big 12. They're just drunk as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, there'd be a lot of it.
We're going to get a champion out of this thing, but we don't know who they're going to be.
Rams are 8-4. The Seahawks are 8-4, and we shall see. We shall see. Let's see. The Eagles lose 30-16, and they bench Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts comes in. He throws a pick, but he also throws a touchdown. Okay. I mean, it was a beating. The Eagles put up 13 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, they were getting demolished in this game. The only scores that they had were the Jalen Hurts touchdown and the Jalen Reagor punt return for touchdown. The Eagles
it's a bad football team.
Yeah, they're not a good football team at all. Packers moved to 9-3. Pretty good record. Aaron Rodgers looked good. 3 touchdown passes, 295 yards. Aaron Jones is a beast. 15 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. And Devontae Adams had 121 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. So I
was about to say Devontae Adams is looking like a monster.
Oh yeah, no, he's ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. Casey jumps in. Hurts is better than Wentz. Cruz said, "Hey Jalen, welcome to the NFL, bud." Brown Yeti said, "Give Murray another year before we say anything." Media made a quick judgment again, saying he's the next Mahomes. Well, yeah, but this is the NFL, not for long. Yeah. Lamar Jackson doesn't look as good this year.
I think Murray's going to be fine. I do think Murray's going to be good. I think he's hurt right now. I really do. I think in that Patriot game he got hurt and he never looked the same again. And then he didn't look good last week, and then he didn't look good this past Sunday. And I just think
he ain't working,
rattled.
that team cannot win if he is not.
He is the straw that stirs the drink there. It's not like most places where the quarterback is everything. He really is everything to that offense.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So you brought up the Patriots. Patriots win 45-0. Cam Newton, 12 out of 19, 69 yards. 69 yards. What are we doing? But they didn't need him.
They didn't need him. They beat the hell out of this team. Listen, the only stat that matters is this. Okay, somebody's got to explain this to me, okay? And I hope that Anthony Lynn had to answer for this today. The Patriots punted 5 times yesterday, all right, Red? That's fine. 2 times, the Chargers lined up with 11 people. That's how many you're supposed to have. 2 times they lined up with 10 people, and 1 time they lined up with 12, which gave the Patriots first down, which they went and scored a touchdown on that drive. How in the hell does that happen? How is it that 3 out of 5 times the team punts, you don't have the right number of people on the field. One of those 10-man return teams is one where they scored the touchdown.
So if you are an Anthony Lynn supporter, you blame this on the special teams coach, right? But this is still 100% on him. This team looked like they were done with the season. That's all it was. They were done.
This is tough right here. If you're an Anthony Lynn supporter, bro, you're having a rough go at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. Damian said Chargers lost to a Fig Newton cookie. Damn.
No, Cam is not good. Damian actually called this before the season started. Cam ain't no good. Cam is not good at football at all.
Jared Stidham came in 2 out of 3 passing, 61 yards, 1 touchdown.
It was garbage time. Let's give it that. The Chargers weren't playing defense at this point in time at all. They had pulled starters as well. But this was an ass thrashing. Cam cannot throw the football.
And yes, you're 100% right. 100% right. Chiefs win 22-16. That's the last game that we'll discuss. Mahomes, another 300-yard night, had a touchdown. Melvin Gordon ran for 131 yards, but the Chiefs just looked like they were asleep at the wheel for the whole ball game. Le'Veon Bell, 11 carries, 40 yards. Travis Kelce had 136 yards receiving. This is just, when the Chiefs want to play, then they look great. When they don't, then they can nearly get beat by just about anybody. They just look bored.
They really do just look bored.
And that's all you can say about it, right? Like I don't think you can take anything from this game. That's all I'll say. So else that we need to discuss with it?
No, I think that's it.
All right, let's go on and get out of here. We'll go watch the rest of this Washington Steelers game. Birdie said, is this Pats D for real? Well, I mean, they're always for real with Belichick.
Well, yeah, I thought the Pats defense was going to be the reason they were going to be in the fight this year and to compete for the AFC East was solely defense. I never, even if I thought Cam was back to being Superman, I still knew that they didn't have any weapons for him. So,
yeah.
But he is far from Superman.
No, you are certainly correct about that. All right, do us a favor. Go over to SBR Picks on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed. We will be over there again tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 Eastern Time for our deep dives and official college football picks for the week. We also do a Saturday morning show. Our opening line show was done earlier today. You can go check it out over on that channel as well, where we kind of discuss all the big games from this weekend. Or coming up this weekend, we'll say that. So go and make sure that you go over there, sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Go over to winningcureseverything.com, subscribe everywhere that you need to subscribe. We are going to get out of here, and we're going to go watch some Monday Night Football, and hopefully all of you will do the same. Do us a favor, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe wherever you need to subscribe, of course. We'll say it again. Casey said, later, fam. Later, everybody. Cruz said, go Giants. See you guys later. Hey, you guys take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And, maybe we can cash some tickets tonight. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review.